Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here. Is it even possible? Is there a way to feel rested without having much sleep? I mean, can I feel focused, productive, and alert when I'm getting less than a few hours? Well, let's talk about feeling rested without much sleep. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Welcome to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge your battery and reclaim your power. Always listen for the explosion there. But before we get into all this great stuff about sleeping, feeling rested, make sure you head over to talktoperry.com. My podcast calendar is wide open for listeners and viewers like you, and it's all about keeping that energy high so that you can be focused, driven, and reach all of your goals. And I want to help you recharge your battery so that you can reclaim your power. And we'll do that in 15 minutes. Head over to talktoperry.com. Okay, sleep. I love sleep. I know there's a lot of times people say, I don't get enough, right? But I don't know if you knew this about me. I actually take 1 to 2 power naps a day. There's a really great way that I do it. And they're just short ones, 15 to 20 minutes. Most of the time it's 10 to 15. But it feels to me like a battery boost, as if I was an iPhone. You know, when you get those alerts saying low battery power, well, it's like an energy boost. Like I'm finding that plug-in, letting it charge for a little bit, get my power nap in, and I'm fully charged 100%. I mean, I love that. And that got me thinking. And I talk to a lot of people that get way less sleep than I do. And I know some of them are like, they're just dragging with energy. Other people claim to be like, oh, I only need a few hours of sleep and I feel great. So I wondered, for those people that really struggle out there, if there was any hacks out there where you could feel rested without getting a lot of sleep, and without having to pound down a ton of coffee and energy drinks. I know that there's a way to work around those things. It's like, oh, I'm dragging, so I'll hit up the coffee pot several times a day. But is there another way? You know, so here's what I found. Are you leaning in? Okay. While there are some hacks out there, and I'll share some of these that I discovered, most of the time it's not really sustainable. I mean, a lot of times something ends up giving, whether it's your mental or your physical performance. But, you know, and I know that there's ways to kind of fake it with energy drinks and coffee and stuff like that. But some of these things might be worth trying if you're barely getting, let's say, 4 hours of sleep. And I know that there's some people, you know, that might even be you, where you're saying, I only need 3 to 4 hours a day and I'm feeling great. It's like, okay, that's probably not the norm and that's working for you. Way cool. Then maybe these things aren't for you. But for the rest of us, you know, if there's this little streak that we're on where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna get much sleep over the next few days. What can I do to keep my battery boosted and to make the most of it to where it seems like I'm well rested? Okay, because there's research out there that says that lack of sleep can lead to complications like anxiety, obesity, depression, lots of other health issues I won't go into. But there was one study, I thought this was interesting, a study, and I can't claim its source at the moment off the top of my head, but I was reading that there was a study of about 10,000 people who were getting, on average, about 4 hours of sleep. And when they did this study, I forget how long it was, but they discovered that just this long, consistent time of just getting 4 hours of sleep was like adding 8 years of aging to the brain. Wow. I mean, I was like, what? So I get it. Life is busy for many of us. Sleep, a lot of times, seems like a big luxury rather than a necessity. And I like to say it's a necessity because there's so many other things that you could be doing and performing at so much better at a higher level and being more efficient at when you are well rested and getting good sleep. But it does sound like there's a lot of health issues that can really add up when sleep deprivation becomes a chronic issue. So if it's a short-term thing, you know, some of these things I found, and I want to share with you, they validated what I was guessing that I would find, and I was hoping, you know, things that could really help you get through those times when you are in moments of lack of sleep. So here they are. One of them, I'm sure you guessed it. It's light exercise, not extreme exercise. And I think that can kind of drain you, but light exercise, that energy. And I was glad to see that because exercise actually gives you energy. I know a lot of times people are wanting the lightning bolt of motivation and energy to do it, but getting into action and light exercise can do that. I also saw that sleeping in a very dark, cool room can also help with melatonin production. So that's good. And then avoiding the things that I believe that you would guess, avoiding smoking, alcohol, even other liquids that can interfere with your sleep cycle. It is good. Now, another one, and here's where I started this podcast, and I just had one just a little bit ago, power naps. I mean, I was like, yes, all right, power naps. I really enjoy the 10 to 20 minute ish power nap. And I've got a special way of doing it. I find a comfortable spot, lay my head, a lot of times just either on the couch or in the bed. And, I set a timer, and sometimes it's just quiet. Other times I just use some sort of calming sound or calming music, whether it could be YouTube or on an app or something. A few years ago, and I wish I remember this, there was an audio I have, and I'm wondering if I have it still on my phone, where it had these rhythmic pulsating sounds that would get slower and slower, and it would kind of lull you. And it was only a 10-minute track, but it would lull you into kind of a sleepy, nappy state without going into deep dreaming stuff. And then it would kind of reverse it to where the pulses became quicker and more energized, so that you actually came back and felt alert and you felt well rested, and you didn't fall into a nap and then stay into a nap for 2-3 hours. So this would be perfect, if you were trying to catch a little 10-minute nap during your work day, heading out to the car for lunch, whatever it is. So I just found that to be really cool. It might be worth a Google search for you. I also heard, and I've experienced myself, getting out in daylight, getting out in nature. Those can have such energizing benefits to those. So I encourage you to do that. Reducing caffeine is another one. And I know some of you energy drinkers and caffeine, I'm right there with you. I love my energy drinks. Can have an impact, but reducing that can help you feel more alert and rested. I know a lot of us are going, really? And eating a nutrient diet, to fuel you. I bet you knew that would be one of those too. But one thing they didn't mention that I'm like, oh, this seems like a no-brainer. It's jumping on a recharge call with me, a free recharge that I do to help you boost your battery. And that's over at talktoperry.com, because I want to hear your goals, what things you're working through, what struggles you have, what things have become an energy drain for you. And I can tell you within 15 minutes of us talking together, point you in the right direction where you're going to get the best results from to recharge your battery and reclaim your power. And you're going to walk away with 3 strategies to boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make yourself the priority. And that's just so cool. I mean, really, how would your life look different if your battery was running at 100% every single day? That's over at talktoperry.com. See, I told you, they missed that little part of the study. You know what? Sleep. It's essential for good health. And I say take advantage of it if you're able. Go to bed at a decent time. Ease into the night, reducing the screen time and the TV, and just dig into some soothing music or reading an uplifting book, and striving for 7 to 8 hours a night. I mean, that way you avoid the potential lack of sleep side effects that can really impact your mood, your appetite, your focus, your drowsiness, decision-making, and productivity, even illness. So I get it. I mean, if you have to limit sleep a few days, then, use these tips to boost your battery. That's way cool. Light exercise, sunshine, nature, power naps, all good stuff for sure. But just know, you can choose to use your power and take control, or you could choose to let excuses and justifications control you and drain your power. So it's deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, and choosing to figure out new ways and looking at possibilities and learning and growing and keep moving forward. So I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those in the comments, or you can email me over at perrytinsley@gmail.com. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness Community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to UpsideDownFit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.